Ramble.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Welcome!
The guilty pleasures.
Oh my God.
He was in the Amazon with my mom.
Yeah.
He was in the Amazon with my mom. She was researching spiders. She was researching spiders.
Right before she died. Did you not understand it was right before she died?
I'm so happy to be here with you guys because honestly, I feel like our web connects us all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
You got a couple web heads in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Webbies, where you at?
Pew, 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 pew. We're talking about Madam Web.
You guys asked for it.
Yeah, last week we talked about the Oscars.
Prestige.
And this week we're talking about Madam Web.
Yeah. We're best of the best.
And we're right on time.
Yeah.
But this is about the Razzies and the Oscars. They're around the same time, is it not? Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Someone resurfaced. There was a clip of Halle Berry accepting the Razzie for Catwoman while holding her Oscar.
Yeah, for
that she won that same night. It's
the most boss move.
And she's like, I'm sure she took it in stride.
Oh,
She's
she
like,
must have loved it.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you guys are so funny
Yeah,
for saying
this
I'm
is
the
so
worst
you.
actress alive.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Madam Web, you have heard a lot about this film by now. It is like a box office bomb, a critical bomb, but we're here to tell you that it deserves it.
It's the best film of all time.
Mm-hmm. Look, we're gonna have some fun here.
We're having fun.
We're having a good time.
Do you know how hard it is to make a movie?
It is very hard to make a movie. We acknowledge that. We
you know how hard
acknowledge
it
the
is to make a
amount of
movie with a studio breathing down your fucking back?
Yeah. It could be a lot easier.
Yeah, we
tell you
talked
that.
about that last episode.
Oh my God.
Do you know the director? What else she's worked on?
I'm scared. It's a female director. I'm here to defend women this episode.
I think
S.J. Clarkson.
What a name.
She directed episode of Succession.
Oh.
Of course, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she wouldn't be given that unless she was fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm right about that.
Listen, the
She did.
cinematography was great.
Yeah, she directed an episode of Succession. Oh my God. This was a movie.
It was a movie
that I watched.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of things that I actually really liked about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wrote my first pro. Garrick bought gummy worms.
Yeah, I did.
The weed kind or
No, he bought sour
gummy worms.
Sour gummy worms.
So you wait a minute. You both wanted to be sober for this experience because that's rare.
You know what? That was on us.
Seen a movie
That was on us.
That was on us.
Sober.
We definitely wanted to be high for this one.
Yeah, and it was an oopsie doopsie.
Yeah, we failed.
I came. So actually, I need to apologize.
You had a hiker's high. I guess.
I need to apologize. So we made a plan to go see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, Maggie, it's a beautiful day. You want to go on a hike? And she said, yeah. And then we're hiking, and she's like, shouldn't we turn back? And I'm like, I think we can go around this, and let's go around this little bend. And actually, it's a loop, and it's going to bring us right back to the parking lot. I was 30 minutes late.
Oh, you got lost in the woods?
Got lost in the woods.
Missed the trailers.
Yep.
I missed the Nicole Kidman ad.
A new one coming out in March.
Three new ones.
They better be three completely fucking different ones, not three cuts of the same shit.
That's what they said. They're three different ones, and it's like the ending of Clue, where you go and you see different ones.
Oh my
Love
God.
it.
But poor Garrick goes to see this movie, and he's just sitting watching Madam Web
Alone for 30 minutes.
Yeah, but you know what?
To be clear, I didn't miss 30 minutes of the movie. I missed 20 minutes of trailers, 10 minutes of
10
movie.
minutes of the movie.
5 minutes, whatever.
Yeah. The first 10 minutes, action-packed. You're
The
learning, plot.
The first 10 minutes is like, I feel like was written by AI. I cannot tell you how atrocious this beginning was.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, for sure.
Lucky for me, they repeat the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, they did.
Later, so I actually, in fact, didn't miss it.
much.
No.
Also, Garrick FaceTimed me in.
Yeah, I did.
You FaceTimed him into a movie to watch it?
I would feel bad if it were anything else.
Yeah.
It was Madam Web on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yep.
You mean to tell me I could sit at home and make Garrick FaceTime me into some of this shit?
No, you can't make me do anything because
Okay. You're a grown
you
man.
weren't on the way.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I again,
This was a special occasion also.
Okay, hear you.
It felt appropriate.
We should name the day that we all consumed Madam Web as something to go down in history as
Yeah.
like-
Once we all joined the Webiverse,
the web
I guess.
the world of web. I don't
Yeah.
know. We got to commemorate it somehow.
I suppose I should give a synopsis.
I mean, he was in Amazon with his mother.
Yeah.
When she was researching spiders before she died.
Before she died.
I suppose you should try
Go for
to
it.
give us synopsis.
Go.
Madam Web,
Okay.
a film that says finally, a film about Peter Parker's uncle's coworker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking movie, man.
Yeah.
Madam Web, Cassie, she's a paramedic. Her mom died in the Amazon researching spiders when she died. And one day, her powers turn on
Whoop.
for
Light
no
goes
reason.
on.
Yeah.
And she can sort of see the future.
Kinda.
Sometimes.
A little bit.
Meanwhile, there's a big bad man named Gabriel. He was in the Amazon researching spiders with my mom right before she died. And he has a vision of 3 spider women, played by Sydney Sweeney and 2 other teenagers.
Who are like teens.
Who are very talented.
Yeah.
And he has a vision of them in spider suits killing him. So he says, bitch, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna kill you first.
Yeah.
But then Madam Web sees a vision of that. And she's like, flip it and reverse it. I'm gonna save these girls.
Yep. I'm going to protect them, kind of, but not really. Let their parents deal with it.
I know.
Even though I'm an EMT, literally here to save people's lives for a living, I'll let their parents deal with it.
The first thing you may be wondering, so many things you may be wondering. So then you get Ben Parker, Uncle Ben, played by Adam Scott.
Great choice.
Sultry.
Can I take a pause?
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
I thought he was
great.
fantastic.
He was in the moment. He was trying his hardest not to laugh the whole time, and that felt good and validating.
It made it feel real and grounded.
Like literally, like no, I'm not fucking around. I thought that he sold the character. He was charming.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Yep.
I thought he was great.
It made me think about like, oh damn, we really did lose somebody fun when Uncle Ben died. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something else?
What's
Tell
up?
us.
Dakota Johnson as Madam Web, Cassie.
Great.
I thought this is the best she's ever been.
Can I tell you why?
Why is that?
Because she did absolutely nothing as a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for
She-
sure.
That's very fair.
Literally was not a superhero.
Yeah.
She was an EMT
Yeah.
trying to protect 3 girls from a bad guy.
Yep.
That's why you liked her.
She was a lady who could
was a
see
lady
the future,
who could-
kind of,
So she doesn't jump. She doesn't
in a
beat.
confusing way.
She doesn't kick. She doesn't web.
Yeah, it would be.
She's just acting like a normal person.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
trying her darndest. There is a scene where she's literally talking to a cat in order to exposition dump.
Yeah.
First of all, there's several scenes where she
Okay,
talks to
I'm
a
sorry.
cat.
It's bigger than a dump. It's the movie.
Yeah.
It's Expo movie.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not Expo dumping at all. Just Expo film. You know, like I don't understand how you can cram that much exposition into anything outside of like, oh, this is a future movie.
It's so much exposition, and yet nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. The exposition doesn't help
Because
at
it's not
all.
enough information. Like the exposition leaves you with more questions than answers.
Yeah, you're not answering anything.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, so based off of that answer you just gave me, I have 15 more questions on what you're trying to tell me.
Did you guys know?
That she was in the Amazon.
Because I fucking knew, and she said it several times.
Do you know who this was written by?
No.
Oh,
No,
what a fucking treat. I'm
No.
about to get. Oh, let me just make a moment out of this. No, look at me. Look at me. Look at me in the eye. Look at me in the eye.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
No.
The guys who wrote Morbius.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
They not only were the guys
It's
that
Morbin time.
so when Dakota Johnson signed on to this movie, it was a completely different version.
Of course.
And she was like, yes. And then they were like, just kidding. We need to do about 15 rewrites, some reshoots, and re-ADR all of the villains' lines.
Let's bring in the big
Do you
guns.
know who we're going to bring in? The guys who fucking wrote Morbius. And that's why I loved it.
They love
Why did you
opening in a
Okay,
cave
yeah.
in the Amazon.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God. Give
Oh,
me
my
a
God.
spider. Give me a fucking bat. Bite me. Trap me. Ooh. Shoot me for a cause. I need an animal to save humankind? I don't think so. Bad guy.
I would say this movie had big ME. BME 5 ruined it.
Yeah, but that right there was worth it.
I wanted it to be, you go,
Big
huh?
Morbius energy.
And then I go, big Morbin energy.
Big Morbin energy.
I definitely, there were a couple times Garrick was with me and he can attest to it. I was so amped that I vibrated my sheet and went, oh, it's Morbin time.
Yeah.
Oh my
He's
God.
Oh, we're Morbin.
Yeah, there were a lot of like guffaws from Zach.
I saw this on like a Tuesday afternoon, completely full theater.
Yeah.
In like IMAX or whatever the fuck that surround theater is, old Dolby
like the
laser.
40X.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I tell you guys, my theater would have thought this was the funniest comedy they have ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, they cackled at the end of like the climax
Yeah.
of the film. And
Yeah.
like, it was a joy to watch and be watching.
Yeah.
You
To
know
be
what
with
I mean?
real cinephiles.
To be with my people.
Oh
With
my
webheads.
With
With
webheads.
True masters of the art. I feel like.
I feel like here's where in the movie I went, dang it, for women, was when Sydney Sweeney came on screen.
Sydney Sweeney, okay, I just need to say this.
Yeah.
She's an incredible actress.
Incredible.
Very good.
Maybe one of the worst performances I've ever seen in a movie.
What? Like, that's why when you said this was so much
When was this
2022,
fi-
I was like, are you kidding?
We just looked up before the movie because I was like, when was this filmed? Because right now she's like the star of a
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
She killed it on Euphoria. Like I
Yeah.
think she was great in
Was this in between? If it was 2022, this might have been like right before Euphoria season 2.
I don't know.
Like that being.
She plays a bookish nerd who's like
Huge
afraid
mistake.
to do anything, and she is so severely miscast.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, what I wonder if they were going for was the way that Peter Parker is a bookish nerd.
Yeah.
And like we're gonna do like the lady Peter Parker who's
And
like a
she's
nerd.
gonna be the future of this franchise,
Spider-Verse.
obviously.
Yeah, and it just does not work.
And they have her acting alongside two for real teenagers, like young people. And it just like these three women.
Who are sassy and funny. And
And like crazy, and we flip off ambulances. Like, here's where I think it flopped for me character-wise. They were like three very distinct characters that were all doing the same thing. Running from, they were confused. They were like, why are we being attacked? Why are we being hunted by this evil man?
It was one person. All of their roles could have been one girl.
girly. Make it Sydney Sweeney and then give it the depth that I needed
Yeah.
to care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Make it Dora the Explorer.
Oh, was that that actress?
Yeah.
I thought she was the best one.
She was great. She was great. Make it her.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's really hard to not make a movie or a superhero movie or any type of like nerdy zeitgeist thing not feel like Logan or The Last of Us. And so while doing that, you have to be like, okay, well, if it's not just one girl, let's have it be 3. Then let's have it be a tribe of spider people that I'm trying to save as this super powered being. And have it be that to get away from that conversation. But with that, you make it a hat on a hat on a hat. You make it confusing. You make it like way more muddled than it needs to be because you're also like dealing with fucking time travel.
Yeah.
Like that was another like that was the part that really threw me because the way that they showed her abilities was just as confusing for the audience as it was for her, which I think is like that's
Like,
cool.
could she control it? Why does it redo?
Why is it
time?
like? What is the onset?
Yeah, there was no activation at all. It was just like, oh, a scene would start and then the scene would rewind and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
So the first time that Miss Webb,
Webb is her last name, by
Crazy
the
they
way.
didn't just go with full Charlotte's Web. Like, they should have just called her Charlotte.
yeah, her name is Cassie Webb.
Cassie Webb, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kismet.
Yeah.
She is trying to save someone. She's a paramedic. And then like, oops, the door closes. Oops, the car falls over. Oops,
So
she
it's a
falls into
near-death
the water.
experience that activates her spidey sense.
By the way, you're a shitty paramedic.
Bad paramedic. You should have knew that. Also, fucking Spider-Man, every Spider-Man movie has to have a car falling off of a bridge.
Yeah,
Stop doing
underwater.
that. Don't
Yeah.
do that. It's okay to
Maybe
not.
it's a nod to
Counterpoint.
it now. Maybe it's a trend. They're really trying to make it a thing, you know?
Yeah, maybe it is a nod.
Do it more.
Do it
Yeah.
more. Do it 7 more times.
Do it a couple times in the
Okay,
movie.
All right, okay.
Once
But
in a movie is not
to
enough.
back up even to back up to even the beginning of her creation.
Are you talking about when she was in the Amazon researching spiders before
and
she died?
her
Yeah,
mother.
before her
First of
mother
all, the most pregnant woman I've ever seen in my life.
Also,
Traveling to the Amazon?
Whoa. She was very pregnant. The reveal of her being pregnant, where she is just like researching the spider in the Amazon right before she dies. And then she's just like, oh. And you're like, wait, what the fuck just happened? And then the reveal of this giant belly. And she's like, I'm sorry. She's kicking her like, she doesn't want me to be doing this.
She doesn't want me to be here.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Girl,
How did we?
What doctor let you on a plane?
Like,
And let me
you on
tell
a
you, when I
plane.
saw that on FaceTime, I was shocked.
And
was.
so her mom is researching spiders in the Amazon before she died.
Yeah.
And this guy over her shoulder is like, I only agreed to be your bodyguard because you told me you were close to finding the spider with the superpowers. And I'm like,
And that was
great.
a very good impression, and I still don't know what his accent was
I mean,
supposed
I
to
think
be.
it's French.
Is it?
I
Did
think
you
I looked
really?
it up that he is like a pretty famous like French actor.
That's good, man. Don't like this. America
Garrick
fucked
is
you.
hitting
America
himself.
fucked you. We really
We failed
like.
you.
Yeah, we failed you. We failed this fantastic performance. He probably came over here and he was just like, man, it's time for me to finally translate,
into US.
break into the U.S.
Yeah.
market. All of this stuff. He gets thrown into this obviously noted to death script to the point where they had to reshoot it, to the point where they had to ADR the
His
reshoots.
entire line.
All of
let-
his
let's
lines.
really emphasize that. You can't be like, oh, like not all of his lines were ADR.
No, dog, not a single line
not a single
fucking
came
line.
out of his mouth.
to the point that sometimes his lips weren't even moving.
Yeah,
They
no,
were
not at all.
behind him the whole
No,
time.
it was
It's
from the
incredible.
back.
There's a shot-
Very good face of a man.
He's attractive.
He's a
Handsome man.
very handsome
Good
man.
villain face.
And they were just like, no, we're not going to show your face at all.
Shadow it.
There was a shot where Garrick hit me because one of the teen girls, the skateboarding one, she's sitting on a bed in a motel, and you can see her reflection in a mirror in a composition where they didn't need to do
You
that.
didn't.
Yeah.
It's like she's
that
just
off.
on the corner of the shot. You can see her reflection, and she's talking, but her lips ain't moving.
Her lips. It's just like, buddy, you weren't even paying
didn't even
attention.
try.
It's look in the background.
Yeah.
I'm usually I do not pick up on this type of thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is a boom in the shot at some point in the movie.
Oh, I missed.
I
Love
missed
that.
it. I wanted to find it. I couldn't find it because I'm not good at spotting these things. It was that
gotta know.
egregious that I had to like literally just point it out. I was like, hey, her lips aren't moving in the reflection. I can fully see her reflection. It's almost, the reflection was so bold of her lips not moving. It was almost as if you like saw a camera in the mirror. That's how egregious this was.
Oh my God. Do you want to know how bad it is? Do you want to see how bad the boom is? in
Yeah.
the
It's
shot?
bad. It's bad. Yeah, I've seen
It's a
the
micro. Like, there's nothing else that could be.
Yeah.
It's a shot where she's being an EMT, and it's like a pretty close-up shot of her, and
Really good
it's
stuff.
nothing else is in the frame except for her and a giant. It looks like a big dick coming in the top of the screen.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Microphone's
Love it.
dick.
Love
So we're in the Amazon. They find the spider. Gabriel steals a spider. He shoots him, and then these spider people.
Spider people. Yeah.
They retcon Spider-Man lore, which pisses me off.
If I were like Kevin Feige, I would literally try to fight people. I would like get out of my fucking plush chair.
Yeah, very expensive chair.
Very expensive chair.
Yeah.
Drive my unreleased Tesla hovercraft, self-driving car over to those offices and like say and take my shirt off and say let's throw down. And they'll know exactly what happened. They'll know exactly what they did. And then they'll be like, all right, we got to go get our ass beat by Kevin Feige, who is a surprisingly large man.
He's a big boy.
He's a big dude. Because like Zach was saying when we were leaving the theater, you can't do this to Spider-Man. He is the lovable icon of your entire franchise. And so for you to say that his abilities come from an Amazonian spider and he's a part of a tribe of a bunch of different spider people.
Fluorescent pink?
fluorescent pink, and
Spiders?
they all have his abilities, and you're just like, okay, so Spider-Man isn't
special.
Special?
No, there's a cenote full of them.
Yeah, like the only reason why Spider-Verse is cool is because it's just like, in every dimension there is a
one.
spider. There's
Yeah.
one.
There's
There's
one guy.
one. And you want to retcon that by
And the villain was also a question mark Spider-Man?
This is so many questions
Yeah.
here. So the bad guy
Yeah.
made himself a Spider-Man suit.
Suit.
Yep.
All black.
Why?
Why couldn't he just crawl on the walls with
He
a
couldn't
mask
crawl.
on?
He could only walk on the wall.
Yeah.
He could only walk upside down.
He crawled.
He did?
Yeah, he
They had a
crawled.
whole point to it.
Oh my God.
Also, there's at one point where the first time you see him in the subway, I don't know if you noticed this, that he's not wearing shoes.
No.
He's wearing a suit.
Yeah.
With no shoes. And I said, where are his fucking shoes?
And like, I don't care. Like, you can kill people. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But if you're not wearing shoes in Manhattan,
Yeah.
Disgusting.
You're a gross person.
you're despicable.
Mind you, I'm still not even sure that this is the villain that I'm supposed to be rooting against, because when he was in the Amazon with his mother before she was researching spider before she died,
Absolutely.
he says she finds the pink magenta spider, and surprise, surprise, he pulls out a gun and is like, give me the fucking spider. And she's like, no, we can save so many people in the world. He's like, I'm not trying to save anybody in the world. And she's like, why? I don't understand. I'm like, yeah, me neither. Why are you a villain? And he's like, because nobody helped me and my family when we were starving. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we ever learn about. Can you say, name one other thing about this villain in his backstory?
Well, he's been working on big projects.
Like,
Yeah. Fucking an NSA member, I guess. I don't know.
we have nothing about
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah.
This is a movie in which no one wants anything.
Nobody wants
and it's glorious. Cassie as a
goddamn
character
Yeah.
doesn't want anything.
No.
She wants to get rid of these fucking teenage girls.
And this is, okay, if I can fuck. Okay, here we go. We're going to get real for a second. Spider-Man is maybe the best comic book character of all time.
He
Certainly the
helps
most
people.
iconic.
Yeah.
He's the most famous. And what makes Spider-Man fun, both in comics and in movies, is that he's a kid he wants. His wanting is what makes him so fun to watch. He's trying to balance his life in Spider-Man 2. He wants to have it all. He wants to get with first he wants to get with MJ, right? Then he wants to balance being a hero with being there for his wife. Like, the want is part of what makes him a great character. Cassie,
Cat lady.
she doesn't want any. She literally
Wants to be
does not
left
want
alone.
a
Yeah.
thing.
She
Yeah.
says it many times. She's like, I don't want to do anything.
She's
like,
Dakota
leave me
Johnson.
alone.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Spider-Man, it's fun.
Yeah.
Phew. It's wish fulfillment. He's a dork. He's a geek
Yeah.
who's getting bullied,
Right.
who then becomes superpowered, right? Like, that's fun. You get to see the little dweeb become a fucking suave action hero. But also, he's swinging through the Manhattan skyscrapers. That's fun. He's shooting little like
Whips.
gun globs out of his wrists.
Yeah.
Gun globs.
Gun globs.
That's
Gun
what we
glob.
call them.
Gun
Yeah.
globs.
That
yeah.
is fun.
Yeah.
Her powers, let's get back to it, confusing.
Yeah.
And
She never
decidedly
shoots
not
one
fun.
Gun glove.
makes you hurt. Makes your head hurt a little bit.
Can't figure it out. I don't know how it
Can't
works. She
think-
don't know how it works.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, you
just kind. It honestly, the whole thing was filmed like the movie The Butterfly Effect.
Yes.
It's like a 9 Inch Nails music video with
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
this
yeah.
like a stutter editing. Like that, like they filmed it through a prism,
Yeah.
and then cut it up real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
And I don't know her powers. It's not cool, and they don't do
No.
it like Groundhog Day, where she gets to do it over and over again. That would be fun.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been where like she can like memorize like how many steps she
Yes.
takes.
Yeah.
I mean, like you think about like the Blumhouse movie Happy Death
Death
Day.
Day.
Like even
Yes.
that movie did it better.
Kept my
Yeah.
attention.
If you told me, hey, it's Spider-Man Groundhog Day, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
If you tell me this is a Trent Reznor music video, I'm out.
It was quick. It was fast.
What was fast?
The movie.
Oh wow, you think so?
I mean, no, I mean like the movie was too long. Don't get me wrong. But
Okay.
like for a superhero movie that's out in 2024, it was quick.
It was quicker than those
Yeah.
the other ones.
It's like an hour 50, right?
Fuck, man.
Well, you probably are listening to us talk about it and you go, okay, yeah, sure, Zach. Okay, well, maybe Madam Web doesn't have superpowers, but I watched the trailers and we have 3 spider ladies.
Yeah, they're
No,
in
you
there.
fucking don't.
Yeah. They are
Now
in
you know.
there for a total of 5 minutes, I want to say.
It's a
Maybe even
hypothetical
3.
Spider-Woman. It's a
Yeah,
hypothetical.
It's all hypothetical.
Wouldn't this be cool? Too bad you can't have it now. They're children right
This
now.
is I
Also-
have visions of them 10 years from now,
Killing
Yeah.
and they will become spider people.
Yeah.
So you see a vision of them in the beginning,
Yep.
and you're like, ooh,
again, cut up in
Yeah.
prism vision.
exciting.
In 10 years. In 10 years.
And then you see a vision of them at the very end of the film, and all of that footage is what you saw in the
In the
trailer.
trailer.
And that is literally
That's
every
fucking
ounce of it.
nuts.
That's so disrespectful. It's almost like they only put that in just to create hype through a trailer.
Yeah. Oh,
Insane.
100%.
No,
that's
it's
why they
that
did it.
marketing. Honestly, I feel for them because marketing watched this movie and went, long drag of the cigarette.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
They really said,
okay,
fucking
just-
send it. We don't care. They said, fuck it for the movie. Fuck it.
Just got to go on a quick, like, hard, like, comic tirade, I guess.
on.
Okay. This movie is in 2003.
Which it really wants you to know.
It really,
Which-
This movie demands you
Does
remember.
nothing but put a Beyonce billboard in the background to prove it.
It really, really fucking
Background.
wants
It
you
was
to
like
know.
the whole frame. She like halfway through they keep
did they do
reminding
that?
you every I'd say 12 minutes they have one reference to like you got a cell phone now.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's so cool that you have one of those.
Dangerously in Love is
Yeah.
number 1 on the charts.
Yeah.
How did they use-
right. Yes.
They have a scene where
this
it's like
is when Zach literally was just like, okay, I
This is
have
camp.
to laugh.
It's camp.
I have to-
they're listening to the radio and they go, we got a new song from Britney Spears. This one's gonna be a hit.
And
And
you're
then they
like,
play Toxic.
fuck.
toxic.
In which
like,
that
what?
driving scene was sick, like having the toxic song.
Yeah,
like,
it was
I was
Okay,
like,
so that was
this
the
is fine.
only, like, just the beginning of that. Okay, on to the tirade. All right,
Yes.
all right. Okay, so this movie is set in 2003. 2003, right? So this is Ben Parker, famously Uncle Ben, and his sister-in-law, Mary Parker, who is pregnant with none other
Spider-Man.
than Spider-Man, Peter Parker, who they could not say his name.
Not once.
Because they do not have the rights for saying Peter Parker,
They
which is
don't?
Unbelievable.
so fucking funny.
They don't?
They
No.
don't. They don't have the rights for anything
So famously,
Spider-Man related. I'm sorry.
Do you want me to? I would have to interrupt
Something
your
about
tirade
Sony?
to tell this
Please,
story.
please.
So Sony famously owns the rights to Spider-Man, and they
They have to
years and
make
years
it.
and
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago, they were offered the rights to the entire Marvel catalog, and they said, "No, that's all bullshit. We only care about Spider-Man."
Okay.
So they got Spider-Man, and then the MCU was able to, Disney was able to acquire them, but like Marvel Studios owned the rights to every other character. Fast forward years later, Sony goes, oopsie doopsie, we fucked up because we had a crack at this and we couldn't. They strike a deal with Marvel to lend Tom Holland Spider-Man, basically like, hey, say you can have Spider-Man back to be part of your MCU, but we're going to continue to make Spider-Man universe movies. But they currently own the rights to the Spider-Man world. So what we're seeing is them trying to make something out of nothing. An entire MCU out of Spider-Man. Dare I say, a web CU.
Is that what Venom was?
Disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Venom was good.
Venom and Morbius. It was
I
it was
liked it.
fun.
Y'all know it.
It was
fucking
fun.
love
But they've been
more.
trying for years to make the Sinister Six, which is like Spider-Man's 6 big villains.
Yeah.
And so Venom, and we have
Vulture.
Craven coming out later this year. And
Yeah.
Anyway,
Craven.
but I want to hear where
Yeah,
you're going.
Dr. Octopus. Yeah, so like, all right, where was I? They don't have the rights to
say
say Peter Parker. So
Hilarious.
there's this whole scene where they're trying to guess the name of the baby. And then she was
That.
like, "Oh, what's it? What if his name is Larry?" And they're like, no, it's not Larry. What about Jonathan?
Yeah.
No.
name.
Yeah, it's a good name. And then she's going to say Peter, and then a balloon pops. You could to literally censor the name of the baby. But even still, this is in 2003. We have a baby. The spider people of Sydney Sweeney and other teens in 10 years will have spider powers.
This
That means Peter Parker will be 10 years old, which also means that when he gets his spider abilities, There are 3 fucking girls just
that
having
are just
Spider-Man
like
powers
him.
that are just like him, and he never sees them.
Yeah, no, this is insane because the movie makes a point to be back in time, right?
Right.
Because they care about the chronology here. They're
Yeah.
saying, no, this is still the Web CU, and we're gonna get to Tom Holland, and like, no, this is all one big thing, right? We care about this is all one thing.
Yeah.
And you know, we saw there was a Venom post-credit scene in one of the Marvel movies. They're claiming they're putting them all together. So it says, don't worry, this is still the Tom Holland universe. But that does not make sense.
Doesn't make
if
sense
there
at
have
all.
already been 3 other Spider people.
Okay, but here's my
in
pitch.
New York City.
In New
They're
York City.
gonna take these 3 girls and put them somewhere fucking batshit crazy. They're gonna put them on Antarctica.
They're gonna be like, oh, they got separated when
Yeah.
the dimensional rift opened,
Yeah.
and that's why he never met them and all that.
That's why they
No,
make
they're
three.
gonna be
Still-
like, oh, please forget this movie ever
Yeah.
happened.
I fucking hope so.
It's insulting. It's crazy.
It's insulting to what Spider-Man is. He is a singular object.
Yeah.
He just appears. It is a guy that just so happens to have spider
Who
abilities.
got bit by a genetically modified
A
spider,
genetically
right?
modified spider,
What we
yes.
find out in this that it's just a spider.
Yeah.
That, first of all, there is a cave full. They are not dead.
No.
They are nowhere near almost extinct. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But we are made to believe that it's pink when I've been told it's blue and red.
Yeah.
Who's this pink bitch?
Who
I
that
don't
pink
know.
bitch?
I don't know, but I guess they're trying to say like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is gonna come back and all that stuff, and this is his world that they're
Okay.
dealing with. But I still don't agree. I don't.
Oh, I have heard that rumor, right?
Yeah.
That they're gonna
yeah,
bring
that they're-
Garfield back.
Yeah,
They can
and-
bring him back, but
They can do whatever they
'cause
want.
They can bring.
They can
him-
do whatever they want.
right.
What do you mean?
It
But
doesn't
they don't have
matter.
the right.
We're all gonna die.
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like they're going to hand Spider-Man back at some point. The deal that they have is consistently being extended or whatever. But then also there's the whole thing about how Sony has to keep making Spider-Man movies
Or else they lose.
the rights to it. And so that's why they're just like, all right, just fucking
Make the girl one.
we can't lose this thing because it's all we have. So let's just fucking make a Madam Web. Why not? Madam Web, a character that is so pivotal in the Spider-Man universe. Something that is so fucking, oh my God.
But then,
this
by the
old
way,
lady in a
Ben
wheelchair.
Parker barely in this shit.
Barely in it.
He's great.
Yeah. Put him in it more.
There's a moment towards the end of the movie. So Madam Web can see the future, right? And by the end, she's unlocked her powers. And Ben Parker becomes an uncle. The mom, played by Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
Which I just floored because I was like, Emma Roberts was like, bitch, give me Cassandra Webb. Give me, let me be the fucking lead.
Emma Roberts still thinks she was the star of this movie.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
this day.
Yeah.
She's like, I get to play Peter Parker's mom. I'm the star.
Yes.
I'm like, Emma.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're playing another pregnant bitch.
Hey, do you know what's your aunt up to?
Yeah.
You know?
She busy?
So Emma Roberts gives birth at the end, and they come in and they go, Ben's so excited to be an uncle. All the fun and none of the responsibility. And Madam Web just goes, that's what he thinks. Meaning she knows that the parents are gonna die, and she's like, I ain't gonna do nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
What the
my
fuck?
God,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
It's
Yeah.
an insane moment.
What the
There's a couple. There's one line reading that I told you that I think that Dakota Johnson actually did a good job. They're at the baby shower you were talking about, and they're for whatever reason they don't know Cassandra, but they want to know her opinion. So they go, Cassie, tell us about your mom, and she goes, my mom died. And then points, and she's like, in childbirth, actually.
Yeah.
And the line delivery is
Yeah.
so
So
good.
funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was a genuine laugh out loud. And I'm like,
Yeah,
Dakota,
same.
you still got
she's
it.
got
Yeah.
it. She's fucking got it.
Wow.
I want to talk about so many things. Zoja Mamet,
Sorsha Mamet being the tech girly, I lost my mind.
the Shauna from Girls, is,
Yeah.
the,
Is a
is,
tech
the, is
genius.
the main henchman.
In
Yeah.
Manhattan, nonetheless. Like, I can't.
It is baffling. And then she disappears from the movie.
Yeah.
But she's just like, she is the character
Coder.
that
He's
is
the man in the man in the
Enhance.
chair, the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
enhance.
I
Yeah.
feel like she needed lessons on how to type. You know what I mean? Like, it was
Right.
so unbelievable, her as that character, that I was like, girl.
Yeah, why the fuck was she lifting her fingers up so high?
Nails. That's the only thing I could think of.
It was because
It
it
was
wasn't
insane.
like
This.
tipping it. It wasn't this. It was just
She's never coded a day in her life. She's never
No,
tapped a
no,
computer key.
Have you heard of iPad face?
Oh.
So people will look at actors and be like, nah, that kid has iPad face. I don't believe him in a period piece. It's just like that kid's face has seen an iPad.
Yes,
And
yes,
I don't
yes.
believe, and that's why our dude Dominic Sisa in Holdovers was so incredible, because like that guy does not have an iPad face.
Right.
I believe him in that
Yeah.
era.
But Saoirse Mamet.
She has I'm too rich to know how to use a computer face.
Yeah,
She's got
yeah.
I'm girls,
She's
drunk,
like-
messed up, New York City,
Yeah.
Nepo baby.
I have an assistant.
Her dad
that
is
types
David
for
Mamet.
me.
Or,
I have an
David
assistant who
Mamet.
types for me face.
Yeah. That was in her dad is
David Mamet,
David
the
Mamet.
playwright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, she is
just
the
learned.
ultimate Nepo baby.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know.
Very talented writer.
Yeah. I think she's very talented, but
She's a talented writer.
No,
no,
he
he
is.
is.
Oh yeah, no, I know he is. I'm sorry, I know he is.
I think
Like-
she's great, not in a fucking superhero movie ever
Yeah, yeah,
at all
yeah.
in any role.
They steal a technology that helps scan his dream to create
Yeah.
perfect photorealistic images of the three teens.
That's what's crazy. They don't create a technology. This is based off of his description of what the girls look
That's
like.
right.
I was.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was
That-
getting ready to fucking die
lose
laughing
my
if like a
mind.
piece of paper showed up with
With their
what he
drawing.
drew, and it was like a really bad drawing. I would have been like, oh, that's funny.
Like the leprechaun in the tree.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
have.
Or it's just like, all right, just have it be like, oh, it's a perfect drawing. He
Yeah.
drew a perfect drawing,
Yeah.
but it was fully based off of a description. I hate this movie. I love the way that it makes you feel. I love the
Yeah.
way that it makes people
This
feel.
what I'm not gonna lie. Like we keep seeing reviews that are like, my Aura ring thought I was asleep during Madam Web
Yeah.
and working out the hardest I've worked out in years, or like,
Yeah.
it's very confusing. And it's arguably like probably the worst rated movie out this year so far. You 100% have to go see
You
it.
gotta see it.
You're gonna kind of feel.
have to
You
see
feel
it.
left out of the zeitgeist.
It's the same feeling of like I want to go to London and do that Willy Wonka experience.
100%.
Because I want to
Germany.
see how bad it's in Germany.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry,
Frankfurt.
Germany. I want to go to Germany and I want to see how bad things can be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever like you're out to dinner and you have a bite of food and someone goes like, "Oh my god, that's awful," and you're like, "Okay, yeah, let me have a bite." It's like I need to know.
I need to know.
It's so salty. Let me
Yeah.
try.
This movie feels kind of like getting hit by an ambulance,
Yeah.
which Madam Web does to our main villain twice.
Yeah.
She uses cars
Jumps through a screen in Times Square with her ambulance.
from like
Yeah.
the fourth story.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also lands on 4 wheels
Yo.
after doing that.
I loved it.
Just to
Yeah.
be clear, she drives up to the through a
Escalators.
parking lot to the fourth story, drives through a billboard, and her ambulance flies through the air, knocks a man who is standing on top of a car, knocks him off. That is some Vin Diesel shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fuckery,
That's a
automobile
good point.
fuckery that we only see in the Fast
Absolutely.
and
That's
Furious
a very
franchise.
good point.
Okay, other things that I want to hit.
I was gonna say there's 2 anime that do this well. But in one of them, Chainsaw Man, a kid who's a devil hunter or whatever gets the ability to see the future like 3 seconds in advance, I believe. But the whole thing is that although he can see what's coming, he still doesn't have the ability
To change it.
to dodge it. Like if somebody's throwing a punch at you and you know that it's coming 3 seconds in advance and you can't move anymore, or
Yeah.
you're like, well, I'm too tired to move, or I'm not trained enough
Yeah,
to react well, I'm still getting fucking punched.
Rocked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting rocked. So like her entire ability is just like, but while also being like a doty person that doesn't really know what's going on, it would have been really cool if like, oh, she has like some EMT
Well, she,
experience and all that stuff.
Yeah, tie it into her, right? Because that's what I couldn't get over was that like they made her an EMT for a reason, for like this idea of like near-death experiences. She's saving people, but like she doesn't want to do it. Like she doesn't want to help people. She doesn't want to save. She like wants to put it off as much as possible. And she randomly gets a second superpower, which is the ability to be in two places at once.
Okay. Oh, fucking okay. Okay. All right. So this is one that I want to ask what is actually happening, because I didn't.
What the fuck is actually going on?
I didn't understand it at all. Like I left
the climax of the film.
The climax of the film.
She goes to the Amazon.
Goes to the Amazon, meets her fucking grand her birthday.
We'll go back. I just tell
her
about
doula.
the
Her doula.
Yeah.
She meets her doula. He says that you might have the ability to be everywhere at once, all of the time.
Everything everywhere.
All that stuff. And we get to the climax of the movie, and she actually uses that ability to where she can astral project to different places.
That's accurate. That's exactly what she did.
Which doesn't make sense.
What?
She doesn't train. She just
does it. How?
In the moment she needs it most.
But how? But like that.
The three girls are hanging from the bridge. Which, by the way, the climax, the final fight scene is on a Pepsi sign.
Yeah,
Dog, the final blow, what kills the villain, is the Pepsi sign.
Yeah, it's
not
a P.
Madam Web.
I have more to say about that.
I mean, we love a good product placement.
Yeah, but that was like
there's a
giving
couple
yourself
Pepsi shots,
too much credit.
But like fighting on a Pepsi sign, next level.
That's pretty crazy.
Inspired stuff, Madam Web. You've done it again.
You've done it again.
But we have the classic Spider-Man moment where three people are hanging. Normally it's two, and he says, "You can't save them all, Cassie. What are you gonna do?" And she's like, "Oh, I'll just astral project."
I'll just astral project.
I will say both of them.
Of course.
Watch this.
Oh, you don't know that I can fucking astral project?
Neither
You fucking
did I.
idiot.
I'm doing it right now for the
You
first
dumb
time.
bitch.
Watch
You dumb
me.
bitch. I can
Yeah.
astral project.
So not only does she get and she does that once and then it's over.
Yeah.
Not only does he get crushed by a Pepsi sign, but Madam Web can see the future. So it's like, okay, this Pepsi sign is gonna fall. I'm gonna time it right. So she's crawling back and she's looking at the S, and the S is wobbling, the S is wiggling, and she's crawling back, and she's really telegraphing it. I'm like, cause Cassie, girl, like she's like, the S, and she's crawling. He's doing his villain speech, and he's like, I'm gonna get you, and she's crawling, and she's looking at the S, and she's crawling, and she's looking at the S. He gets crushed by the P.
He got crushed by the fucking P. He got crushed by the P, dog.
It is.
He got crushed by the P.
That is the twist of the movie.
But that was the real twist. It wasn't even the right letter. Because I was also like looking at the beginning, when she falls in the water, there's just one random S that pops up.
Yeah, they have a flash forward of a neon S.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
you're
all
like,
right,
that S is gonna come back.
S is gonna
Here
come
it is.
back.
It's finally
There's
the moment.
the S. It's in the Pepsi sign.
bitch.
Fuck yes.
No, watch out for that P.
The S is gonna fucking kill him. That's crazy.
Got an S on my chest.
And
Wrong.
it was the fucking P.
You got the P.
I was like, when is this S gonna come in? And it doesn't. It fucking doesn't. It never does.
During that scene, also that she has like right before he's about to die, she goes, "The girls were never your future. I was." And then there's a Succession style zoom.
Oh, the way I gasped and grabbed my seatmate because I went, "What is it? What? Why did they just do that? They jump cut in on her face. Like they literally racked zoom to jump in on her.
You cannot,
like
in the final
style.
10 minutes of the movie, do like a Jim Halpert whip zoom into your "I just killed you" line.
As your one and only wicked camera movement.
I can't. I mean, this is where we all knew that it was by a Succession director because it was doing a lot of punch-ins.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's doing like a found footage kind of handheld situation.
I mean,
there's a lot of whooshing.
Yeah.
The whole first 30 minutes, they found this one crane that allows the camera to go whoosh and flip upside down. Yeah. And they said, we're going to get our money's worth.
Between that and the fractal flashbacks, I kept going, this is exactly what an oral migraine feels like.
No, that's hilarious.
An oral migraine, that's it. When I'm throwing up and like can't see it, like that's exactly what it feels like.
Oh my God.
It was awful.
Again, it is very hard to make stuff, and I understand that and all of that.
Not the director's fault.
Not the director's fault at all. Not the actor's fault. Not even the writer's fault.
Maybe.
No, I don't know. I fully just blame the fucking studio. Why did you
it's
do
by
this?
Committee. Yeah.
Yeah, why did you do this? I'm sure it came in just fine. And you killed it.
There was someone sitting in front of us as we walked out that was saying this is so much different than the version I saw. So I think they did test it to death, and probably you got too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, don't because when you test it, the audience also gets a little card and be like, what parts did you like? What parts didn't you like? And then they write that shit down, and then the studio will come and it's like, well,
here's the thing we got to know the most
look at what Jane said.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, fuck Jane, man.
Joe in Riverside really enjoyed the spider, but thought, should it be pink?
Should it be? I think it's magenta pink.
I think for bigger swings, that's where that comes in. Like the famous Get Out story is that they tested that in front of people, and it had a different ending where he winds up in jail at the end. The police car that comes up at the end is an actual police car, and then Lil Rel calls him in prison. And that's the ending. And it left people with such a bad taste in their mouth that they were like, all right, this feels, maybe we are just making people feel bad, and it doesn't need to be that. Let's make it like more of a triumph. And then they change it to the ending that you
it's
see.
a relief. It's a great
It makes
change.
you relieved. There's just like, because then there's like that big pop moment at the end of the movie where you see the police car and everybody knows.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, this looks bad. This looks bad. And then you see Lil Rel and you're like,
and then you're like, thank God.
Yeah, right. So like, that type of stuff, sure. If it's just like I just want to change one thing, but for you to like test it and then reshoot most of the movie,
oh my God,
throw it out. But doesn't
it like? You guys saw all the pre-Dakota Johnson like press tour, and everyone was like, "This bitch is unhinged.
She's amazing."
Doesn't it make so much more sense?
It makes way more sense.
And her at one point in like an interview being like, "I don't know if the movie's good." I don't think she knows what version came out.
Right.
That's
She has
what's
no fucking
crazy.
clue.
I don't think you should be allowed to do that to actors. Also.
Yeah,
I think
imagine how embarrassed she is.
Yeah,
in a way.
I think that's so disrespectful and like kind of mean.
Yeah.
Kind of really
It's a
mean
dick
that
move.
you're now, I mean, the two girls might have like a little bit of trouble like getting other
roles.
things,
That's
other
what
roles.
I was genuinely thinking about how this like not only sets women directors
Certainly the
back.
director.
Yeah, the director,
Yeah.
and she's like, she's probably fucking fantastic. She is fantastic.
Fantastic. She
There's
did
no way that
Succession.
she's not.
Not
She
a
did
bad Succession director.
She's great. And now you have this shit like hanging over that was out of her hands.
Stinky poo poo.
Yeah, meanwhile, Morbius guys have written multiple flops and are still getting jobs.
Well, hey, sometimes you just got to morb.
Sometimes you gotta morph. Sometimes.
Maybe the biggest laugh that you and I had there.
Yeah.
So we didn't say, but Cassie's wanted for kidnapping.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yes, she
just the plot. She steals a taxi as well. No big deal. They're in a motel room, and she's like, I know what I have to do. And all the girls look, and she goes, no, you have to go to Peru.
Oh my god! Like what?
And it's like, sorry. We're in the middle of you're being hunted. You, Cassie, are wanted by the police. By the way, smash cut, next shot.
Peru.
She's in Peru.
Peru.
This movie is
apparently no fly lists don't exist.
Yeah.
This movie insists on telling you that it takes place in 2003.
Yep.
Yeah.
Famously, a very hard time
Yeah.
to fly.
To fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So where they're like, no, you need a background check before boarding this plane.
Yeah.
Then she goes to the Amazon, and she is able to find the exact spot she was born by referencing a Polaroid.
And some sketches in her
fucking
mom's
tree.
notebook. She's like, this is it.
She literally, okay, so there's a guy on Twitter, I'm sure everybody has seen it, that can fucking, like, he's a geolocator.
Oh, it's amazing.
And he can find a picture based off of, like, find where a location
cool.
based off of a picture.
Okay.
And, and he does it in a sadistic way because he's probably a serial killer and all that stuff.
Cool,
Whatever,
cool.
doesn't matter. But he does so much work and so much internet that for her to
In
find
2003?
in 2003 for her to find exactly where her mom was based off of a tree and a picture, are you fucking crazy?
I was like looking at her makeup and her hair. I'm like, is she gonna sweat? Bitch, now you would have thought this was on the edge of town.
Yeah.
She took
Yeah.
10 steps into the woods and was like, I found the rare Amazonian tribe.
Oh, yes. The biggest forest on the planet. I figured out where the one tree is.
With the housing the rarest spider that no one could ever find before my mother.
It took her mom years. Her whole fucking life to find that one spider, and she found it immediately.
She was like, oh, guys.
Spidey Death Doula was there waiting, too.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Spidey Death Doula. What a trip. That man was attractive.
He is cool.
He was a handsome man.
Those jumping Spidey man scared the shit out of me when they were coming through the trees. I was like, ooh, scary.
Because I missed this part, but then they flashed the entire beginning. And I did see some of it on FaceTime, which I did enjoy. Did they show how the baby got from Amazon spider people to live in New York City?
They yeeted the baby across the. They just said, "Here, go."
Yeah, they shipped her.
Who's in New York? Don't worry about it.
They shipped her in a crate like Paddington, probably.
By the way, both this film and Paddington, they both start in Peru. So there's a non-zero chance that Paddington, like Uncle Pastuzo, knows the spider people.
That's
I love
high
that.
chance,
I love that.
Aunt
Lucy is a spider person.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Lucy.
Oh my god. I would watch that crossover.
Oh my
in a
fucking
heartbeat.
god.
There's one big thing that we have to discuss, and I'm honestly out of energy that I can't even express outrage, so I'm just going to say it. Spider-Man, what do we know about him? He was bit by a spider. Uncle Ben dies. With great power comes great responsibility. This movie...
Let's say that again. Like it's a proverb.
With great power comes
With great power
comes great responsibility.
Probably the greatest heater of a line ever.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know we talk in superlatives a lot.
Yeah.
If I had to put some of the best literary quotes of the what century are we in? 21st? Whatever.
Yeah, whichever one.
That is up there of the most impactful ones.
People hear and they're like, "Where's that from?" Even like it's just that quotable.
Oh, they know.
Before we get to our
do you think I'm crazy for saying that?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
So they changed the line.
They tweaked it. They put a little flavor on it.
I'm sorry, just to remind the audience, the line is with great power comes great responsibility.
Which is it? Let's just really break it down.
Yeah. No, not an ounce of fat on that line.
It's
you
perfect.
Need every
it's
word.
Lean.
Every single word. It has to be in that order.
And it means something.
It means something to a generation of kids that watched Uncle Ben die.
With great power comes great responsibility. It means
sense.
if you can, you must.
You have to.
Because you have a moral obligation to stand up, to do something.
Absolutely. Preach it.
This film posits, what if instead, with great responsibility, wait, what is the line?
Exactly.
You can't even say it without the fucking when it is swapped around.
What if instead you do the Missy Elliott? You flip it and reverse it.
Stop.
Because this film posits when you take on the responsibility, great power will come.
No.
No.
What?
No.
When you what? When you take on the responsibility, great power will. That's the Willy Wonka in Germany experience.
Yeah, no, that was AI. That's 100%. That is somebody like a. No, fuck them.
When
that was a marketing exec
truly
being
fuck
like,
them.
okay, we can just if we can't use a line, maybe we can like
in the theater
fuck around
will go,
with it.
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio meme, and instead everyone went, no,
everybody screamed. That's not the line.
That's not how you say
because it's burned into our memory because we watched a sweet man die and say that.
It haunted all of us.
It haunted all of us. Are you fucking crazy? That's insane.
And that haunted me just the way you fucking said it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
It
Take
hurts.
it back.
It hurts.
You know that our Morb boys, the day they wrote that line, he went, ha-cha-cha, came out of his he came out of his palapa in his backyard.
Oh my God.
Closed the sliding screen door and said, honey, I was cooking today.
Oh,
he said, ChatGPT, thank you for the alternative.
So much. Love that.
It's like they ran it through Google Translate like
million
7 times.
Yes. Yeah. It feels like, okay, this is also leading towards the ADR-ness of this movie, but it does feel like it's been translated from a different language. It does feel like it's a dubbed song, dubbed movie.
So deeply insulting to, like, of all the fuckery this movie does with something that just works.
It just,
Yeah.
you
just
don't
work.
fuck with perfection.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah, I think.
Also,
Yeah,
but then
the line
Uncle
is,
Ben has nothing to do with
has
that
nothing
line.
to do
She's in
with
the
it.
Amazon when
She's
she
not-
hears that
yeah,
shit.
and she's not even over. He's not.
that
Maybe
dare
if he
suggests
maybe
the Amazonian man said that
first, get out of here. It like
and Uncle
imagine.
Ben came up with that version later just
Yeah.
by chance.
Imagine if she said it and Uncle Ben was in earshot. Then I'd be
Yes.
like, oh,
That's where
okay.
he got the better
that's where he got it
version.
from. Yeah, all right. So maybe his better line was just him punching
Just
up
smooth.
something bad.
Yeah.
Ben,
You know?
Uncle Ben is the greatest punch-up writer in New
Yeah,
York.
of all time. Just get him in the room, baby.
Something I did like that me and my screen partner agreed was that we liked that Madam Web didn't have a love interest, but then we also fucking hated that she didn't.
Well, because, Dakota Johnson and Adam Scott,
You thought.
they had
They're
chemistry.
Yeah,
really-
you
I
think.
thought it was like, oh, we tried it at some point and then it didn't work out and we're still friends.
Yeah.
It is
That's what it felt like.
the least believable thing in this movie,
Yeah.
and there are many unbelievable
And
things.
that goes to like more
Oh,
of, I think, why.
Also, I'm sorry,
No, you go
just
ahead.
cutting you off. He can't say May Parker either because she's trying to. I'm sorry. She's asking him and prying.
Oh
like,
my God.
Who's like? Oh, you've met someone.
What's
She's
her
like,
name?
What's her name?
And he goes,
Like he got a fucking
my
gag order.
God.
and then
Insane.
Cassie goes, "Oh, it's serious, huh?" And he goes, "Mm-hmm."
Ew, why wouldn't you
It's
say her
insane.
fucking
I
name?
was like, guys, this you might have to say her name on
You
this
might
one.
have to, because when that happened, I was like, is there something happening that I don't get? Like, what joke am I not in on?
God.
But that goes to what I was shaking my head about that was different from yours, Zachary, which was the ending.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna spoil some of it, and if you're here, you've
You're
stayed
not
this long.
spoiling
you're not.
anything. You're actually saving people
Yeah.
from an experience.
So-
You're doing a
You're
mitzvah.
doing a favor.
The signage falls upon our girl at
The
the
pee.
end, the pee, and she goes blind.
Right?
And she opens her eyes,
she
and
gets
they're
hit in
blue
the eyes
and
with a
misty.
firework.
Yeah, and you're like, ow, that probably hurt. Cut to her like turning her wheelchair around with like space goggles on, like, hello, children. Thank you for coming back from the bodega.
Oh my god.
Oh. And I went, when the fuck did hitting her head that hard make her
He's-
matronly?
Yeah.
Like
it's-
all of a sudden she's a mother
also,
spider?
You're still a fucking EMT.
Yeah.
Well, how did you afford this loft in Manhattan?
Like on the water. And I just went, that's when I went, what fucking growth happened? What happened? How did we see her change?
Yeah.
What caused her to all of a sudden care about these women?
Nothing.
I saw no difference in cause of her wants and needs and desires. And that goes back to what you were saying in the beginning, Zach, is just like, it just it smacks you out of nowhere. It makes no fucking sense. It pissed me off. And at that point though, I was laughing my tail out the door.
I think I just feel so bad for the for the creatives on this project. Like I really do see you. I understand what it took to make this, and I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize
Yeah,
for
sorry. Whatever happened.
for whatever happened, whatever process. I know this was a 2-year process, I guess, or 2 years from filming. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was crazier beforehand.
Except for that boom guy. That was your fault.
Yeah, that was on you, buddy.
You had one job, my guy.
That was on you.
That's
It's not
crazy.
his fault.
Yeah.
Also, just as a side note, Garrick's phone has lit up like 3 or 4 times since we've been here, and he's in a group chat with 2 other people that's named Articulate Fellas.
Yeah. It's very
How cute is that?
It's very cute. I want more group chats.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, I actually
Not
hate
with
being in
me,
them.
right?
Yeah.
We're in too many.
I think
Do you have fun facts?
Not really.
We have
Please make it
I read them. They're good.
Okay, yeah. I do think it's really perfect that Sony is kind of the Pepsi of like superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they found each
Right.
other.
That's what they're kindred spirit companies. You know, they're like
Yeah.
kindred company spirits.
Kindred company.
Yeah, it's
like,
just
look, we both need a win here.
we
Let's
both
help
need
each
a
other
win,
out.
and then we're also the lesser version of something much, much better.
It's really, I think, a testament for how good the Spider-Verse movies are that the stink of whatever they're doing here doesn't even touch it.
But yeah, that's very true. I also think that Sony should, like, what the fuck am I saying? I don't know. Like, they should, if they're trying to keep the rights of Spider-Man, stay in the animated space, because this is what like DC does with smaller, with like Justice League movies and Batman movies and Superman movies and all that stuff. It was just like, yeah, let's just have like a straight to video kind of animated project. If that's what it takes, I'd rather you spend less money and put it out in less of a stink and less of a crazy situation and just send it to a streamer or something like that, so you can keep the rights, so that you can have access to keep on making Spider-Verse movies.
But Garrick, don't you think it's going to be so much better when they do the Spider-Verse live action? Y'all ready for some fun facts?
Yeah.
We've only got 2. New movies are harder. But actually, this kind of clears up a lot for me. In the initial synopsis that Sony Pictures put on their website, it included the sentence, "Meanwhile, in another universe."
Okay.
Which honestly, it clears up.
Sure.
I would have liked that.
They took that away.
I would have liked that. What's it called when they tell you beforehand?
Like the Chiron, Chiron.
Chiron, but
How do you pronounce it?
I think it's Chiron.
It's Chiron.
Chiron.
CHYRON.
No, it's like a caution sign before a movie.
Disclaimer?
Oh.
I would have liked that disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is in another universe, kids. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
Ain't no Tommy Halls here.
This is a lawless land.
Yeah.
Miss Dakota Johnson. Vroom, vroom. She's a little stunt driver.
Nice.
She did her stunt driving herself, which okay.
Very cool.
Behind a machine.
Yeah, I would
carrying her
assume so.
vehicle. Okay.
It says, though, that she, including that of the taxi and the ambulance, she wanted to do the stunt where the vehicle drives into the diner, but the team wouldn't let her do it.
Damn.
Too pretty.
All right.
Another fun fact, the sour gummy worms that Garrick bought were delicious, and he ate most of them, and which he should have.
Me and Garrick are both gummy people.
Gummy people.
This is lately is it a pleasure, guilty pleasure, just plain guilty hasn't really mattered.
No.
But I am curious.
Oh.
Do you think people should see the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the
Absolutely.
definition of a guilty pleasure.
Absolutely. The definition of a guilty pleasure. It is see it with as many people
friends.
as you can.
Go
It is
so
this
high.
isn't like a oh my God, it's actually depressing how bad this movie is.
No.
This movie is something that is it's
riotous
bad,
laugh.
but it's funny, man.
Treat it like the Super Bowl. This is a packed basement movie.
It's a packed basement movie. This is something that you watch as high as humanly possible, and you just pay attention and you just turn your mind off and know that this is bad. Just know that it's bad. And if you approach it in that way, you'll be less upset coming out of it. But the fact that we paid for it actually did make me pretty upset.
Well, when you have
We didn't pay
AMC
for it. We
A-list,
have
not
AMC A-list.
sponsored, it's so much easier.
Oh my God, can you imagine if it were sponsored?
God.
Why aren't we?
We
Can
need to
someone
be.
reach out to AMC? This feels so obvious.
That's a good one.
They don't need us.
Oh, okay.
I want to read you 2 things. First of all, there was all of these events happened in Madame Web except one. Can you guess which is the lie? Madame Web is born in a cave in Peru with the help of her magic spider people. The 3 spider women never get powers and are only seen in costumes during dream sequences. Evil Spider-Man is killed by a large Pepsi sign. Madame Web becomes wanted for kidnapping by the NYPD. Madame Web runs down Evil Spider-Man in her car twice. Peter Parker is born but not named. Madame Web inexplicably splits into 3 ghost-like copies of herself near the end of the movie. They all happen.
They all are true. I was about to say, I was like, this all sounds insane, but the answer is all of the above. All of the, I'm sorry, no, it's not. All of the above are true, are in the movie.
And I want to, if I can find real quick, there was one Letterboxd review that I saw that is really special, and I'd like to leave us on that.
Ooh.
This is from Adam Bolt on Letterboxd. I was at the dentist today for an hour and a half with the Imagine Dragons playing in the background the whole time, and I can't believe that wasn't the most painful experience I had today.
Oh man, we should do like letterbox readings just as an episode or some TikToks.
So good.
Rainie, when you come back, let's do it.
Good. Ah, my goodness. Yeah, I get the gang together. Get the webheads in your life
Yeah.
and find the web that
In
connects
you.
you all.
Woof.
I'm at Corn Diddy on all the things.
I'm Kelsey Darragh on all the things.
I'm Garrick Bernard on all the things.
And until next time, he was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.